Hello, and welcome to Put Me On, where it's everything college and corporate. Congratulations. If you're watching this, you made it to the year 2025. I'm so excited to see all that you're going to accomplish this year. So let's get you started off on the right foot and make sure you do not leave any money on the table as you get all those offers that you've been, working hard towards this year. These tips that I'm going to share are inspired by my African mother. If you have seen my mother haggle, you will know that she is a pro at negotiating. And I realized that over the course of the years, I have applied these tips to getting an internship, getting a full-time job, helping my friends, and helping other people that I mentor. And it was only just recently that I realized, wait, I actually sound like my mother when she's haggling with a vendor. Here are some tips that have helped me negotiate for a better offer, helped my friends, and help other people that I've mentored. And let's dive in. The first rule of the game is that you always, always negotiate. Now, you might be excited. You've been in the job market for a minute and you just got that offer that you've been waiting for, and you're tempted to say, yes, calm down, calm down. There's no such thing as accepting the first offer, except if it's, proportionally really out of what you were expecting. If that's not the case, make sure you negotiate. My mother would go into the market, and regardless of whatever amount they called, regardless of how much lower it was from her expectation, she would always negotiate. So, for example, let's say we're going clothes shopping and trying to buy shoes and clothes for the new school year. She would ask, "How much is the shoe?" And they're like, "Oh my God, it's 40,000." This woman probably expected to pay 50,000, but they're calling it 40,000. And she does not agree to the first price. She's like, "Okay, what about 30? What about 35?" So you always make sure that the first amount they give you is simply the starting point. So if you're, at this point and you're wondering, what do I say? I'm trying to negotiate, but I do not know what to say. Here's how you're going to respond. You're going to say, "Hello, I'm very excited and I truly, truly appreciate this offer. But based on my experience and market research, I was hoping for something closer to this amount." Now, that brings me to the second tip. I said based on experience and market research. I highly recommend that even when you're going into the interview, and sometimes even when you're applying for the job, they ask you, "What are your salary expectations?" You want to know what the company typically pays for this role, and what the industry pays for this role. When I say industry, just think of like direct competitors. For example, if you're a software engineer and you have this really fantastic offer from Google, ask yourself, what would Amazon pay? Use that as a benchmark. Of course, not just Amazon. So you want to make sure you're considering other companies, Amazon, Meta, the whole nine yards, not just FANG, but just think, what would other companies on the same level as this company that I've just received an offer from pay? And you're wondering, how do I do that? You definitely want to go to levels.fyi. You want to go to Glassdoor, and you definitely want to go to Reddit because somebody is always saying something on Reddit. Now, in case you're wondering, how do I phrase this? You're going to say, based on research and current industry benchmark for this particular role, I understand the market rate is ABC, and I believe that my skills and my experience aligns well with that range. Got it? Now, you probably don't just want to give a number, and let me explain why that is so. When my mother goes to the market, before we leave the house, she's like, "How much did you buy this the last time?" I'm like, "Okay, I bought it for 40,000. She's like, okay, no problem. And then she budgets 45,000, for example, to spend. That's the max she wants to spend. But when she goes to the store, well, to the market, and they're like, hey, this thing is this amount. She is like, no, no, no. Let's start from this amount. So let's say they say 30,000. I told her it was 40,000. She's like, okay, we're going to start from 25. That's what she does. And let me explain how this works. She has a crazy point or a crazy amount. She has the market point and she has the happy point. And that is why you want to do your research. Now, the happy point is the amount that she would be comfortable spending, which is the 45,000. The market point is the 40,000 that I told her I bought it for previously. And the crazy point is like 25. Like, mother, why? But for your situation, here's how this is going to play out. Your happy point is going to be the amount that you would feel very satisfied accepting. It's the amount that you understand you're going to be comfortable living off, okay? The market point is, where your research comes in. It's the amount that you've researched is a fair salary expectation. And the crazy point is like aspirational, slightly higher than what you think is reasonable, but it makes sure that when you negotiate, you're a little bit higher than your happy point. So if I was in your shoes, here's how I would say it. I would say I was looking for something between the range of 120 to 150, for example, okay? Being very aspirational. 150 would be my crazy point. I'm like, are you going to accept it? Now, my 120 would be my slightly higher than my market point, or exactly the market point. And then my happy point would be lower. Now, I always tell people, let your happy point be lower than the lower part of the range that you give. So that way, when they say no, you're still lower than you're still a little higher rather than your happy point. So you would want to give them a range where you feature your crazy point, your market point, and make sure it's slightly higher than the happy point. And you're wondering, why would they even listen to me? And why would they want to accept this crazy amount that I've just mentioned? Let me tell you what my mother does. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy it for 25,000 because the other store over there, they sell it for 26, 27, and that's why research is very important. The good thing about going to the store is my mother goes to the store a lot. So she knows that if you won't give me a good price, I could very well just go to this other person. So likewise, there are other companies. Remember, always remember, you are the prize, okay? Don't be afraid to remind your recruiter or the hiring manager that you are exploring other opportunities. And here's how I would frame it. I would say, I'm currently discussing with a few other companies, and they have made offers around the range of A, B, and C. I would most definitely love to work with you as it is my passion, and I believe there's clear alignment between your expectations and my skills. But I would need to make sure that my compensation reflects my skills and the market. So now you've expressed, I really, really want to work with you. And, I just need to make sure I'm able to survive off the salary that you're offering me. And not just survive, but thrive off the salary that you're expecting, that you're offering me. So if you already have another offer, or if you're actively in discussion with other companies, you could say, I'm in the final stages with company A, B, and C, and this is the range that they typically pay. And I would love to work with you, but I need to make sure that, my compensation and the kind of work that I'll be doing and the market are properly aligned. So just remind them of a competition. And If you're like, okay, that is not working, let me tell you the next thing my mother does. If she has tried to bargain on a certain item and it's not working, then she will divide and conquer. Get it? If you're a tech person, you get it. But what she does is she looks beyond the current item that she's trying to purchase and she looks in the store and she's like, is there anything else that I'm going to need from this store? So, for example, she's trying to get shoes, but they also sell clothes and she knows that she needs to get clothes. So, what does she do? She's like, okay, if you give me these shoes, I will take these shoes for 30,000 that you are requesting on the um only if you sell me this t-shirt for $1,000. And mind you, the t-shirt could be like worth like $3,000. So she's like, okay, I recognize you're not gonna budge here, but I'm gonna make it seem like I'm compromising on this and also get a better value for this other item that I need. Simply put, what she does is that she breaks it into components. She looks for value outside of the item that she's negotiating. For your case, you're negotiating your salary. So look for value beyond your salary. Don't just focus on price. Don't just focus on the dollar value, focus on the whole package, right? So, how would you say this? And what exactly is the whole package? I'm talking benefits, bonuses, like a sign-on bonus, your 401k, flexible work options. Can I do hybrid? What is my PTO going to look like? Can I get better stock options? So, you could tell your recruiter or whoever you're discussing with that although I'm looking for a higher salary base or a higher base salary rather, because it's your base salary and you build on. But you would say, although I'm looking for a higher base salary, I'm also interested in discussing additional benefits such as working remotely or even stipends to help with my professional development. So if you're someone and you know you want to go to grad school, if the company offers like if they have the option to pay for your grad school, that could be extra value that's beyond your salary. You don't have to worry about paying for grad school out of pocket. They could just pay for it. So these are other things that you should look into beyond the dollar value that's put in front of you as your base salary. Now you've done all of these things, and it's like, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? You need to pause and I'm telling you that not because that's just what I would do, but that's what my mother does. And it always works. When she's negotiating, she's like, okay, I will buy the shoes for 30,000 and I will take the t-shirt for 1,000. And she's just like, I'm like, and? And she's just looking. Likewise, you don't want to rush during a negotiation. Your silence is super, super precious. It is golden. Okay? So when you pause, the employer is also waiting. It's kind of like a little game. If they don't respond immediately, you need to calm down. Maybe count to 10 in your mind, of course. You're like, hey, I do want a higher base salary, but I'm open to these other benefits. What would the team, prefer? Or how would this work with what the team is offering, for example? And you pause. Let them process what you've just said because you've probably helped them recognize, okay, there's all these other things that they most definitely know about. So give them time to process, give them time to think about the expectations that they have coming from the team. Maintain the silence. Let them be the one to suggest to you and say, like, okay, we can't like give you, remote work, but like we'll pay for your grad school degree. Like, don't say like, oh, okay, but if that's not possible, then I'm okay. No, 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 you're not. You're not okay. Well, you're okay, but like you get the gist. Pause and let them come back to you with a counter offer. If that doesn't work for them, let them be the one to bring the suggestion as to, okay, we can't do this, but here's what we can do. Because when you tell people like I'm really interested in working for you. When you've like tried to give them solutions, they will also feel, I don't want to use the word obligated, but they'll definitely be, motivated to also think of other options because they recognize that you are trying to make this a win-win situation. There's a lot of work, a lot of time that goes into recruiting, and now you're in the final stage. They don't just want to kick you out, you know, hopefully. If a company just wants to kick you out, then maybe that's not the best company. But my final tip is make sure they recognize that it's a win-win. It's not just like, I just want what's great for me and I do not care about your company. For my mom, she's like, I really, really want to like shop with you. Like when I walked into the market, I saw like the way your store was arranged and it looks so good, and that's what attracted me to your store. And I don't want to leave here without making a purchase and without you making a sale. Like, I want you to make a sale. I don't want you to just go back and lose on this sale. So she makes sure that she helps a person recognize that she wants them to be happy as well as herself. Get it? So you want to make sure that you're framing your conversation as a win-win for both parties. So you're not just saying, I want more money. You're saying, I'm really excited about the opportunity to bring my 5 years of experience leading another team and 10 years of experience building products to your team and create products that, our customers are going to love an hour because now we're on the same team. Remind them we are on the same team. We're both fighting for the same thing and a great compensation. Well, a good compensation package that reflects my experience would help me, as I deliver all of these amazing results to your company. So make sure they recognize you're both fighting the same battle, you both want to win. And I'm sure that with all of these tips, you are sure to negotiate a better offer. You don't believe me? This was what I used when I negotiated my very first internship offer. Like, I really, really wanted the job. I had different offers and I had only one product management offer. And I wanted to try out product management. Mind you, I've never ever done product management before, but I really wanted to try it out. So when I got the offer, I was like super excited. I don't know. I was like, oh my God, I got a PM offer. Yes. And I knew like this was the option that I was going to go with. But then I was like, okay, let me just try to negotiate. And I, explained how excited I was to be coming on board. The company definitely offered like relocation benefits, paid for my flight, helped out with housing. So these were some of the things that I was able to get. Maybe I didn't get up to my crazy point, but I definitely got my happy point. And other benefits. So I encourage you to apply these tips as you negotiate your next offer and let us know in the comments how it goes. Remember, I'm rooting for you. I hope you have a wonderful 2025. Good luck. Bye.